it was this thing where it was like, okay, these kids these days, they play online. I'm going to put them back in that room.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to provide the service for them to play with their friends in the same room. The same game. It's still networked.
Yeah.
Like every TV is networked to each other.
Yeah.
But they're in the same room.
That same throwback experience.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Welcome back to Two Dance in a Pod. I'm Miguel. I'm here with Walter again, and
Like
we
always,
have a very special guest today from Forerunner Gaming, Doug. Doug, how's it going, man?
Good.
So I've been sharing some stuff that you post on social media, and honestly, I'm surprised not. I guess you can tell us more about how it has been going. First, we'll start how it started and everything, obviously.
Yeah.
But my curiosity is like where it's at now. So give us a little bit of how it started. What brought you to that idea? Was it always something you'd want to do, kind of thing?
Well, I've been into video games forever.
Yeah.
Like since I was a kid.
same here.
So
Do you remember like your first video game that you just got hooked?
NES.
NES?
Duck Hunt and Mario Brothers. I don't remember.
So you had the 2-pack, I bet, right?
Probably. I don't remember any other games. I just
okay.
remember those two. I had the gun for Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my brother and I always played it.
Mm.
And at some point, I don't know if we stopped playing it, but my parents put it in a garage sale for $40. And I don't remember why. I just remember they sold it for $40.
Yeah.
Which it was like 95 or 96. I don't know how old I was.
Yeah.
But I was just
Without
I was
asking,
torn.
right?
But maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
So what
But
did they do?
I
to
was
deserve
torn.
that?
I was like, why would you sell it for $40?
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I understood the value of money, but that
Right.
just seemed really low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm sure $40 back then went a lot further
it did.
than
Yeah, and it wasn't
now.
my money. Like
Yeah.
they bought it. Those
Yeah,
things were like
yeah.
$500 when they were brand new or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction to home consoles.
Mm.
And then I got into the Game Boy. The Game
Yeah.
Boy was a big one. It was the portable thing we took on trips.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
We actually had a link.
No pun
I
intended.
remember. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, the portability of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we actually had a link that my brother and I can play together.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Which-
that was awesome.
I mean, looking back now, I didn't understand the value of that. Like,
Yeah.
it was
God
a
damn.
personal thing that you can
Yeah.
play with somebody else.
Yeah.
That was well, I guess it was like the home console, the split screen type thing. But
the only
portability
drawback
of it.
was that it wasn't backlit. Those screens back then weren't
No,
backlit. so, yeah.
You couldn't play it at night. You couldn't
Okay.
play it in
Unless
the
you
car
got
on the
that
drive.
adapter, right?
Yeah, but that was another
The-
like $70
Well,
or something.
and,
That you couldn't even
it's
guess.
a light that
Yeah.
shines on the screen. It reflects.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It wasn't perfect.
it wasn't
as great. Yeah.
But after the Game Boy, like, it was pretty much just portability. We got the PS1.
Mm.
That was everybody thinks of the PS1 as the first PlayStation,
Mm-hmm.
but the PS1, like the one was the word
Mm-hmm.
one, it was the portable PlayStation. So it had a adaptable screen,
Oh, okay.
like you can plug in the screen and play it on the road, and it had all the car charger stuff. And I would go to my grandma's, and my brother and I would sit in our van playing PS1 in the van, and I mean that was like the ultimate nerd flex. Like,
Do you remember how old you were with that?
Probably middle school.
Or middle school?
Yeah, that I forgot when the PS1 came out, but that was between the first PlayStation and the PS2.
That was like the smaller one, right?
It was like just barely bigger. It was actually the PlayStation. The first PlayStation played discs, but that was the first. Like it was like the size of a disc, basically.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
So it was. I don't think it was built for home console. It was
meant to be
the
portable.
PlayStation, but portable.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, I think that was the first one with the actual disc.
Yeah,
other than
that
the
was-
cartridge, right?
No, I was trying to think of that. I think the original PlayStation had a disc.
Okay.
Yeah, no. All
So-
PlayStations had discs.
Okay.
Sony came out with theirs. It was discs. They never did cartridge.
Yeah.
So actually, I've researched stuff for social media and stuff. So when Sony came out with a disc, that was originally supposed to be a cartridge.
Yeah.
Like a partnership with Nintendo.
Yeah, they said
And
no.
Sony decided, hey, you know, the cartridge is gone. Disc is the future. And Nintendo's like, you're wrong. We're backing out.
No, I remember that. I saw that one too. Sega by that time had their discs already going with the well, they had Sega CD.
It was the Genesis console?
No, Genesis was cartridge also.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Dreamcast obviously that was moving on to the next thing. But Nintendo kind of dropped the ball on that one. Their biggest competitor became after that was like Sony.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Because they had the 64. Nintendo had the 64, and then of course PlayStation came out. I mean, Sony came out with their PlayStation. That was their biggest competitor after that.
But the funny thing is, like, Sony became the way of the future, but they had no competition. Nintendo was back in the age, but they had competition with Sega.
Yeah.
But I'm enamored with that whole story of it. Like, I didn't care back then. Like,
nerded out on the console wars for so long.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a documentary, I want to say on Netflix now. They talk about Netflix, and they talk about how like Blockbuster was trying to compete, and the guy in charge of competing with Netflix, he had the plan all planned out. He was ready to go, and then they just cut the program. Yeah. And I was like, I wonder what goes on behind those minds of the bigger companies. Like, you guys,
intuition or something.
You think they'd have like this team of people observing the dynamics of what's being played, what's not being played, and they have the information too on sales. But some of the decisions that are made, they're like against what they're seeing, you know. So I always wonder, like, what is going on?
Well, it probably depends on like who's running at that time, how much into the future they want to risk going, or how much like they're still in the
they're still making big profits, so they kind of want to stick with that, you know.
Like it's sometimes it can be an ego thing. Like
or I mean, they just have the connections and the power to do something. Somebody else doesn't do it, doesn't have it, so they can't do it.
Sometimes it's a high risk, high reward thing. They don't want to do the high risk for it. So
I mean, shit. I mean, Netflix people bought all the DVDs to have in inventory, and that's how they found a little envelope that they can fit it in. Like,
did you guys ever have Netflix as the snail mail type?
I did.
You did?
I did.
I never did. Mine was always digital.
Anyway, so I would rent 4 at a time. And I would watch them all in a day and return them. That wasn't illegal. I mean, I didn't sell them. But I didn't like downloading on LimeWire. So I downloaded with Netflix.
Anybody who's destroyed a computer on LimeWire would know why.
Do you guys remember that fake download that you would take, and then you start playing it just to preview it real quick because you don't want to download the wrong song or something.
Right.
And you hear, "Listen here, America. I did not have sexual relationships." I got that one time. Like, oh, that's a virus. That's a virus.
That was Rickroll before YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Except it was just a lot more harmful than Rickrolling. Rickrolling was at least in good faith, like, ha, I got you.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was a kid, we had an NES, and we would play, Mario or whatever, and I'll have to tell you, or at least show you the other podcast where I talk about me wanting a Game Boy. But as far as the NES, I remember we were playing pretty much every day, and I remember my brother was very wild, and he decided to stand on it, broke it. And I think that's why my mom didn't get one for a while, another one, because my brother was the one breaking it and stuff like that. And fast forward, I wanted the Game Boy came out, right? And I wanted a Game Boy. That's all I wanted. That's it. I'm a very simple man.
The brick.
Yeah, and I guess my brother told my mom that I wanted, and I think this is how it goes, but that's how I remember it for sure. My brother told my mom that I wanted a 64 instead. And I'm like, I mean, I got a 64 out of it. Right?
That's true.
So we started playing and stuff like that. My brother was the one playing most of the time.
Fast
forward to GameCube came out.
Okay. Yeah.
Mom, all I want is a Game Boy.
Still
a Game Boy. I didn't get it. I threw a fit. Obviously, I was 10, 11 years old and everything.
Sounds about
so
right.
she took me to Walmart on my birthday's in December 22nd. So this is right before, everybody's shopping at the Walmart and stuff like that. There's nothing available, and we show up, and the guy at the cashier register, he goes, we don't have any available. And he gets a call from a customer who called ahead to hold on to a GameCube.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not coming for it. Do you want this one? So I got a GameCube instead of a Game Boy. Fast forward another
Jurassic console.
Jurassic. I kept getting all these consoles. I'm like, I just want a Game Boy.
Right.
Fast forward to like the next year or two, Jurassic Park 3 came out on VHS. That's how back I'm going. Came out on VHS, and I was like, oh. And I look at the present, it was all wrapped like, this is the Game Boy. Yes. I open it up, Jurassic Park 3. I'm like, Mom.
Did you even ask for that?
No. I'm like, Mom. Do you mind explaining yourself?
Are you even listening to me?
You don't listen to me, Mom. And my brother told my mom that's what I wanted.
Dude, what the hell?
And then no, literally after I opened it up and I was like complaining, like, this is not what I wanted. He takes it from me and then goes watches it with our cousins. And I was like,
he wanted it.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, he was sneaky.
Did you ever give him a couple like 1-2s after that?
I mean, yes, we're brothers. You know, I put him to sleep one time. It was
well,
terrifying.
Okay. All right,
that's worth it.
Got him in a guillotine one time. It's like, and I'm like, oh shit, wake up. Yeah. No.
Yo, stop faking.
Well, there was some payback. Right.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I was like, I'll put you to sleep, man. He's like, shut up, dude.
And then you did. Okay, I'm not doing it anymore.
No, after the fact. I'll mess around with him. Like, I'll put you to sleep, motherfucker. You know. But.
My favorite console was Super Nintendo.
I never had.
You never had Super Nintendo?
No, that was the S and ES, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we had Nintendo, and then
everything was more 3-dimensional there, right? And
what
the
Super Nintendo?
No, I don't even remember that.
No, Super Nintendo. It just pixelated was better. At that point, it was 32-bit.
Oh, okay. So it was just better graphics.
It's just better graphics, way better graphics.
And it still used a cartridge too, right?
Still used cartridge. Yeah, they stopped using cartridge until GameCube.
GameCube, yeah.
Until GameCube.
And then they thought the little disc was awesome.
The little disc was kind of cool, but I mean, it was like, but yeah, I mean, it was definitely a lot harder to like, I guess, pirate games. I think on
right.
You had to get a special different disc, but I had a moment. I'm a side note. I'm a kind of big video game collector now at this point.
Oh, really?
Now yeah. So especially Super Nintendo, I have like 200 cartridges right now, like Super Nintendo, because I've just within the last like 4 years I've started just collecting.
Yeah.
There was this one time, and it just reminded me about this whole Christmas thing. One of my favorite games for Super Nintendo was Mega Man X. Oh, yeah. I love that game. I rented it all the time. I could beat it, just rented it. But I never got it. Mm-hmm. And then there came this one time where it's in the bargain bin at Walmart. Like, it's in the big-ass bargain bin of just, I think back. I'm like, man, I should
the ones you have to dig through to find what you want?
Yeah, but I mean, I should just, I always think back now, and I'm like, now that I'm like collecting, I'm like, I had so many just moments of just grabbing them. And, there it is, Mega Man X. Nice, it's packaged and all nice, and I'm just holding it. And it's December, a couple weeks before Christmas, and then my brother comes out and it's like, dude, they have Tamagotchis.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was like Tamagotchis were like big thing. This is third grade. That's how I remember, because it was third grade. And Tamagotchi, and so I was like, oh, okay, cool, Tamagotchis, and it was kind of big. And so there we go, grabbing each Tamagotchi, and we're telling my mom, can we get this, right? My mom gives me an ultimatum.
Tamagotchi or the video game.
She says, yes. She says, yes. If you get the Tamagotchi, you can play with it now. But if you get that game, you can't have it until Christmas. Like, you can't open it until Christmas. I had a huge decision there. And I fucked up.
You chose instant gratification.
Yes, I did. Which I royally,
as a kid would.
Which I royally fuck up. Yeah. And I get the Tamagotchi. Play with it. It gets banned in school. Play with it for play with it
all
for
downhill from there.
All down. Play with it for like 2 weeks. And I was like, fuck this game. And then,
I never got a hang on Tamagotchi. Like, I had one at one point. I don't know.
whatever. Those are the pets, right?
Yeah.
Virtual pets.
I don't remember buying it though. That's the weird part. I don't know how I got one.
Maybe your brother said you wanted one, and you got. That's how you got it.
One day he's gonna like listen to all these. I didn't know how you felt, bro.
Maybe he'll buy you a Game Boy.
Yeah. I'm tempted to get you one now because you never got one.
I did get a Game Boy Advance later on.
Okay.
I got Spyro.
Okay.
And then I took it everywhere I went. Obviously, you need AA batteries. You're good. You're set.
Yep.
I remember leaving it in my mom's purse at my aunt's party, one of my aunt's parties. Later that night, gone. Turns out one of my other cousins took it out of the purse to go play it and like never showed back up.
Your family's fucked.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
They wanted it.
Yeah, they wanted it, you know. So yeah, I haven't had a Game Boy since then because I just kind of got over it. I was like, this is not meant to be.
Bad memories.
Yeah, it's not meant to be. I mean, I've had Xbox. We have PlayStation now. We did the whole landline with Xbox when that was a thing with Halo. That was pretty fun. I didn't own an Xbox at the time, but obviously 2 of them, you get 4 and 4. You get 8 people playing together. That was pretty fun. We'd be cursing at the other room and just.
Yep.
That was insane. That's where I'm like, I should have really dove in and started like exploring the capabilities there. Because like whoever was first on learning and becoming really good at doing all that stuff today is like one of the professionals,
Right.
It's insane.
Probably the PC world when they first started doing that.
Yeah.
PC was definitely the first thing that kind of connected.
With the networking.
Networking and all that stuff. So.
Yeah.
So, would you say any of that like LAN parties thing was that kind of like a catalyst for you to kind of do what you're doing now?
I'd say it's a catalyst, and that's how I grew up. Like that was my high school hobby. I didn't have a girlfriend. I played LAN parties. Like it was all Halo. I saw Halo like in freshman year.
Sucks that
fell in love.
Sucks how those things don't go 2 and 2 together.
No,
now they do.
Now they
do.
I know. I'm so mad
if you're a business owner, maybe.
No. I mean, like I remember one time. Sorry to cut off here.
No, you're good.
He's like, let me talk about this.
A couple years ago, I went to GameStop to get a game. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
And in the parking lot, there was a group of 4 like high school kids. Okay, 6 high school kids.
Yeah.
4 dudes and 2 girls. And it was 2 guys were like lightsaber fighting. And I'm not joking. They were like
paint the picture there.
They're lightsaber fighting. Those 2 other the 2 other couples were hanging back. And I mean, they didn't look like nerds. That's the thing. None of them looked like nerds. The 2 guys, they're obviously all friends. Yeah. At least the dudes were friends, right? Mm-hmm. And the girlfriends were just kind of there. But either way, clearly they were all into kind of the same thing. And the girls, they didn't look like nerdy girls. No, they didn't. They looked like, I don't know, your typical like I don't know, cheerleader types or whatever. And I remember walking past by them and I'm like, man, we paved our way for you guys.
Yeah.
Because us nerds back in the day, either you talked about it or you didn't.
Right.
You hit it, because if you hit it, you at least had opportunity of like getting a girlfriend or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't talk about Dragon Ball Z. No. Like in front of everybody, only like, because it's like, no, I'm not gonna talk about that.
There was a classroom designated for us dueling folk to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Mrs. Hatch, shout out to Ms. Hatch. She hooked it up with that classroom during lunchtime. We'd be in there, and then after that, like, we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, so yeah, you got your jollies out of it, and you said I'm not done. But anyway, you obviously took a different.
I had a group of friends.
Yeah,
and we would go around to each other's houses. I'd lug I think at the time it was like a 27-inch CRT TV, flat screen, the new thing.
Yeah.
And the thing, I threw my back out once, putting it in my car. We'd take it around, and like we were into the switches, like the 16-port switch.
Right.
And we'd all, like, that was the hobby.
Yeah.
Right.
It was the after-school activity. It was the weekend. It was the holiday. It was everything. And we'd just go around to each other's houses. Halo was the big one.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Maybe the only one.
Modern Warfare.
Halo 2, maybe?
No. Well, I think Modern Warfare was near the end of high school.
Modern Warfare for me, after
or Call of Duty before Modern Warfare.
Call of Duty.
That was like my high school
Medal of
time.
Honor.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Before Medal of Honor.
And then Big Red 1 came out, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I never got into those until probably Modern Warfare 2.
Mm-hmm.
But that was after high school for me.
Yeah,
but it was high school or Halo was the LAN party.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
And so the idea for Forerunner Gaming was kind of the throwback to everybody does online now.
Yeah.
A lot of games are one player per screen. It's you maybe playing with a friend online, but you're not in the same room. You might be talking to each other, but it's not the same thing.
It's easily accessible now.
It is, and that's great for being able to play video games.
Yeah,
like I mean, you get it. Like I had a brother, I had somebody to play with.
Yeah,
I knew somebody he was really good at Halo because he only played the campaign. He'd play the campaign on loop on Legendary, and he got really good at it. But he didn't get that multiplayer, unless he was with our LAN group.
Yeah.
So me and my brother would play, and it was this thing where it was like, okay, these kids these days, they play online. I'm going to put them back in that room.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to provide the service for them to play with their friends in the same room. The same game. It's still networked. Yeah. Like every TV is networked to each other. Yeah. But they're in the same room.
That same throwback experience.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So that's the reason for the game truck. Mm-hmm. But how I got there wasn't because I'm interested in video games.
Yeah. Well, how'd you get it? The pandemic is what?
I actually started it before that. I came up with the idea for a business. Mm-hmm. Like I just wanted a business.
Yeah.
I had jobs on the weekend. I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to eventually, if I owned the thing, that I could make money by not working.
Right.
Or even if I was working, I would make more than minimum wage or more than, I wouldn't have to work for tips type thing.
Yeah.
I was delivering pizza. I've been delivering pizza since I was 18. Mm-hmm. I just stopped. Actually, I went back last year, but I stopped in 2019 to start the business.
Yeah.
So this business came from thinking about something I can do on the weekend, keep my day job. I didn't want to go all in. I didn't have a whole bunch of capital, but I financed the whole thing myself. So, it's actually a long story. But anyways, we got time. I sold a house, and
the mic is yours right now.
Whoa, we're going down the dark road here. Sold the house, sold the car.
No, the car came later. So I ended up. Long story short, I owned a house in San Miguel, sold it. With that money, I paid off my debt. With that open debt and a little bit of cash, I started a business.
Something else, yeah.
So, but that was a target. Like, it's not like, oh, I have a bunch of credit cards, let's do something with it. No, it was like I paid it off so that I could do something else, something better, obviously.
How high of a risk did that seem to you? Like, was it
it didn't seem like too much of a risk. I'd been into finance for a while, investing and stuff. Okay. So I played it smart. So I had a few 0% credit cards. I knew that
you had your fallback just in cases, right?
Right, and my day job could pay it off. Yeah, okay. Like if going into it, I wanted something that wouldn't break me.
Yeah. Right.
Which is maybe a little selfish to say, but like some people, they quit their day job. They go all in on a business, and they're like, it's a good story.
Yeah.
But like people only pat you on the back when you're successful. When you fail, you're like you're a failure.
Well, you're known. Yeah, exactly.
Which not that I. Anyways, I'm going down rabbit holes.
We do that all the time.
I wanted a business that I could start on the weekends, keep my day job. My day job would pay for it.
Yeah.
So, which was a good thing because I started in January 2020. December 31st, 2019, I went to this trailer dealer, and I went in there acting like, you know what, last day of the year, I'm going to get all the deals. And they go, sorry, dude, bank's closed. But you can put $50 down to reserve it. And I'm like, oh, shit. Well, I still want it. So here's $50. Came back January 2nd, bought the trailer, personal money, and started building it. I planned it all out to build out the game truck to start in March. I wasn't as quick as I thought I or as quick as I wanted to be, because I worked like 85 hours a week.
Yeah.
So on top
to
of your
that
job,
point, like I still had the weekend jobs. I worked like 55 to 65 hours a week at my day job.
Yeah.
So I worked nights, I worked weekends, and I was busting ass on this thing. And I didn't quite open by March, and I set to open April 1st, or the first weekend. It was like April 3rd or April 4th. And I posted on March 8th. Hey, we're going to be open. Like, the booking is open. Like, you can book a party now.
Yeah.
And the trailer wasn't quite finished, but I was going to open.
Yeah.
And March 13th was the day the world stopped. Just everything got shut down. I'm like, what do I do?
That's
like,
what I love about these pandemic stories. Like, we already know. We can hear ready. Timelines. And when you hear the timelines, you're like, oh, wait, here's the part.
Yeah.
Here's the part.
March.
Yeah, here's this part. I'm like, oh, here's the part. Anyway,
and it's just that thing that it's like my whole year came from quitting my job.
Yeah.
I quit my, like, if I kept my job, like, I mean, I would have been slower, but I wouldn't have lost money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shit, I got to stop spending money. I don't know if I'm going to keep my own job. At the time, I delivered wine, which now we know that like doubled in business.
Yeah.
Everybody started drinking. So at the time I was delivering wine, I didn't know if I'd have my job, but also I didn't know if I would still be able to support my family. Mm-hmm. Which, backtracking to the house story, I had like half a family. So I had to take care of my kids.
Yeah.
Right.
So I sold back about half of the equipment I had bought.
Oh, okay.
Like consoles, TVs, most of the stuff for the trailer, building it out, that was purchased. Like it was installed, it was in the process of being installed. Couldn't return that. So I returned that back, and then the world kind of started picking up again. I'm like, okay, August is my timeline. So I took a little bit longer on the trailer. Yeah. I was set to open in August, and in July, shut down again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like buying these consoles. Video games blew up during the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't find consoles.
But no, the
Nintendo Switch.
And they're more expensive.
The processing chips too were starting to
on. I believe that was on the PlayStations, not the Xbox. I'm not sure.
The Switches also came down with there's a chip thing too, and then I'm not sure so much about Xboxes, but either way, you had to deal with scalpers at least.
Right,
with the,
exactly.
Yeah.
So they were being bought up and then sold for more. So I'm like, well, that $5,000 in equipment that I had bought before is now $7,500, $8,000, and I'm like, now I'm reaching the top of my budget.
Yeah. So,
and even if I could find the console, which I actually got lucky, I like to tell the story. Everybody's like, how did you get a PS2 or a PS4? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dude, Kohl's. They're like, what?
No, yeah.
Kohl's.com, dude. Nobody buys a console at Kohl's.
No.
They do have a couple aisles of like game stuff at this Kohl's too, or like electronics.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever in the area.
Goes there. No.
I walk over there, I'm like, oh, they have a couple things.
Yeah. But I did like a Google search, like where to buy a PS4. And you know how Google, like, it does that, like, shopping suggestion, like the little buttons at the top? I'm like, screw that. Bottom of the page, Kohl's. Yeah. Boom. I bought the 3 I needed. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, yeah, I'll go through the cart. And then they're like, oh, by the way, we only have 2. I'm like, man. So 2's not good enough for a game track. So I just scour the web.
Yeah.
And ended up finding all the consoles I need. Spent a little more money in August than March, but so
how many consoles do you have at the moment for the gaming truck?
Hooked up, I have 7.
So what do you have exactly?
I've got 3 PS4s, 3 Xbox Ones, 1 Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
1 Nintendo Switch on a console that shares a TV with a PS4.
Uh-huh.
Another Nintendo Switch just to be handheld. Mm. And then I do have the classics. I got the original Xbox. I got like 5 Xbox 360s. I am in the process of buying a PS3, a PS2. I've got the PlayStation Classic, Nintendo Classic, like 3 Wii's.
Yeah.
No, I just don't have the room for the Wii.
Are you planning to like swap them out? Because I mean, the trailer can only fit so many, right?
Right. I've got 6 TVs, so I can have 6 consoles on a screen at a time.
Okay.
So
Do people decide like ahead of time, like, hey, I want these, or do you just
usually it's a parent booking.
Yeah. That's
so
right. Yeah.
The parent, I mean, they know of the Xbox and PlayStation. Yeah. They don't. I mean, some of them don't even ask for the PS5, which I don't have. But like they go, oh, what do you got? I got Xbox, PlayStation. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. You know, and some of the kids even like they'll see the older Halo games, and they won't even think, hey, do you have an Xbox, the original Xbox? Like they don't. Well, first of all, they can't appreciate the graphics of it, but appreciate it.
These kids nowadays.
Yeah, so they don't even think to ask for those older consoles. They don't care.
Yeah,
like it's
anything that's
not
new
nostalgia
right now for them.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Anything that's new for them.
So I have them, but they're never hooked up unless they're special requests.
Yeah.
But I like to share that I have them because I like to show it off.
You never know when some adult's gonna rent.
Exactly.
Well, I've had adults rent.
It'll be like, hey, hook me up with one of those while I play, and the kids do play with the other.
Yeah.
You know?
One guy, it was his 40th birthday party.
Okay.
And his wife was like, like I'm all tapped out. I don't know what to do for his birthday party. And he's a nerd. He has nerdy friends. They did LAN parties. Yeah. And she's like, this is perfect. This is exactly what he did. Yeah. I'm like, this is what I did. So for his 40th birthday party, she booked the game truck.
Yeah.
And they had a little barbecue in the driveway, beers, playing video games.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is the life.
That's awesome.
This is what it's for.
Yeah.
So when did you officially quit your job?
I still work my day job.
Oh, okay.
I officially quit my weekend jobs to be replaced by the business in 2019.
Yeah.
Like holiday season 2019. Mm-hmm. And I didn't go back at first because I'm like, okay, even though COVID is going on, I can still pay for the business with my day job.
Yeah.
If I didn't start at March, if I didn't start at August, I can still afford it. Mm-hmm. So most businesses, like going back to what I said about people going all in with their business, if they don't get sales, it fails.
Yeah.
If I don't get sales, it's just another weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I built it so it couldn't fail.
Yeah.
Which is great for my stress levels. Like it's if I don't get a booking, I'm like, I care because I care more now. At first, it's like, oh well, I didn't get.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to when something's kicking.
It's hard to let it go. Yeah. So, but if I don't get any bookings, party goes on.
Which
whatever.
I looked at the pricing, and it's, compared to like bouncy houses and all this like other party activities and stuff, like you're actually on par with what those would cost.
Right.
And honestly, I think kids would choose the gamer truck instead of the bouncy house today.
Usually they do.
Yeah.
As long as they tell the parents.
Have you gotten any like bounce house businessmen come at you?
No, I'm usually actually chasing them down because the bounce house, it's like everybody knows about a bounce house.
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger, bolder. Like people see a bounce house from the backyard type thing.
Yeah.
And so I would actually deliver pizza to this dude that owned a bounce house place. And I saw him rolling up bounce houses into a trailer or something. And I started talking to him, like, when I was still delivering pizza, planning out this business. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be in your industry. Yeah. Like, can you give me any pointers? Like, what do you do? Like, all the things. Just I delivered to him, like, every other week, a little bit, a few minutes here and there. And he ended up becoming kind of sort of a partner. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was like we shout out each other, and it like building a business. I thought it would be this whole competition thing. Yeah. Like, you're over there, that's your business, this is mine. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm in it, I'm like, yo, bounce house dude, like, hey, you want to chat? So it's cool like that.
I'm wondering if it really boils down to like how much like you're trying to spread positivity. Right, like versus instead of being like, "Hey, I'm doing this business. Watch out for me." While you're just like, "Hey, dude,
exactly."
Let's talk,
it's less negative. It's more like let's be friends instead of
exactly.
But you get more from helping somebody out than you do from pushing them away.
100%,
which is deep, but like I don't do it on purpose. It happens to be that I like helping somebody out. I like to know that they're going to help me out instead of like, hey, stay away from that guy.
Yeah.
Promoting positivity.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, especially in a town this small and this close
Right.
knit.
Yeah.
It's only a positive ROI, just being able to connect and help others.
And good news travels fast, but bad news travels faster.
Oh yeah.
Like,
it's better.
if you get a bad name for yourself, you're not coming back from that.
If somebody says, "Hey, don't rent Forerunner. They did this, you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's gonna know about it.
Yeah, but on the converse, I mean, kids are the perfect marketing tool.
Oh yeah.
So like bounce houses, like if
Saturday morning.
If somebody has a bounce house, they go, "Hey, cool, we had a bounce house at a birthday party." That's it.
What was the company? Nobody talks about.
No, well, they don't have names on the bounce house.
Exactly. Yeah.
But somebody gets a game truck. They're like, "Oh my god, that was the coolest birthday party." Some parents say that was the coolest birthday party I've ever done.
Yeah.
And
continue.
No, it's just that like the kids tell each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, the thing is, I still remember seeing, like through my friends from Instagram, I remember seeing your business there,
right?
A couple, I don't know, a year ago or something.
Yeah.
And then when Miguel said, "Oh yeah, I invited Doug over," no, like no joke. That same weekend that he told me that you're gonna be on the podcast soon.
Yeah.
Like you had just done a couple parties for like people that I knew. And they're already promoting you. And I was like, it is so weird that we're about to have him on the show. And that same weekend, there's like some people like, "Oh my god, this is such a great party," and all those other things. I'm like, yeah, that is kind of cool. Like having your own little arcade.
Yeah.
Because when I thought about it, like having your own personal arcade. Like when we grew up, like Grand Paso didn't really have many great arcades aside from PPK. It was like the best.
It was just a collection of machines, really.
Yeah, exactly.
They had the Slice for a little bit, but
but I mean that
wasn't when we were kids either, though.
Yeah, COVID nixed that one out. But what I'm saying, PPK was like the better arcade here. But if you go like LA and stuff,
well, there's when we were kids, it was Camelot Park, Boomers, and
Boomers,
Jesus,
that was
Park.
Back when we got tickets for games. Like,
well, there was a Captain Kids
and
way back.
I love that place.
Actually, I've had a few birthdays there. I'm sure.
Soccer trophies. We'd gather there.
But I mean, when I saw that though, I was like, man, that is actually kind of cool. It's the newer. I was like, this is the new age of arcade. The way I looked at it, I was like, this is new age and it's mobile.
Yeah.
I was like, so that's even like cooler. I never thought about like having throwing kit. And the thing is, all these kids nowadays, their video games are like online gaming stuff. You think of Fortnite and they have the Call of Duties and stuff. But
Among Us.
Among Us. Yeah, I personally I never got into those because that's just out of my wheelhouse. I'm just like, nah.
Yeah.
But it's for other people. Sorry, showing my age here again. But definitely, you're right. That's definitely something that will travel in the schoolyard. Yeah. Like I play video, I got this whole thing, video game thing. It's more than a bouncy house. So yeah. But if you were to get your own bouncy house, that would be awesome. Something for the little kids, something for the.
I've thought of that. I've actually the South County component, the game truck down there.
Mm-hmm.
They used to do laser tag, and I'm like, a lot of people do laser tag with a game truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to do that, but I didn't want to do what everybody else did. Yeah. So I started to introduce Nerf and like either Nerf Wars or just target shooting or something like that. Yeah. But didn't really take off. Like the kids were excited, but I can't. Like they're paying for the game truck. Like they're paying a lot. So to me, it's expensive. The
sole purpose would just be the game truck.
Right, and Nerf just doesn't carry the same value. So it'd just be like they're
it's a good point because they're gonna be like you're just gonna see all the guns laid out on the ground while they're just inside.
I just think about all the bullets that I have to pick up.
I thought about that.
Yeah, I was like, nah.
Don't they make some of those like bullet pickup like? It's almost like a little lawnmower.
I've seen those. Yeah, but I'm just like,
it's still a lot of work, especially on a summer day. You're mowing a lawn, but not mowing a lawn.
Yeah, it's like, what is he doing over there? Picking up Nerfs. Yeah. No, I think the Forerunner truck. When I saw it on Instagram, and we were all shut down for pandemic, and I was trying to do different things at the movie theater. Right. And I was like, dude, I gotta get something going. We were doing private shows for people who bring in their own DVD. There was nothing to play, so we told people, hey, we'll rent you out. We'll put Blu-ray players. I bought like 6 Blu-ray players to hook up to the projectors. Yep. And I just went that route, and it did pretty good. I mean, we were having 5, 6 on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Bookings, you know, during the peak of the pandemic. And I was like, fuck, there's more we can do right now. And this is the best opportunity for me to start like trying things because I got the okay, you know?
That's right, yeah.
So I contacted you and I told you, like, hey, you want to come by, see, try something out. It was all very like draft, like there was no concrete, whatever. And then
we want to see what we can do.
We want to see what we can do, but I think because what's it called? It was very limited to how many people can play at once.
Right.
It would have to be either a really long time period of playing and then people taking turns, or having more than one screen going on. So
and the fact that we would need the commitment for people to join
to come
to
in
even make it happen.
Yeah. So it was really tough, especially when we were whole social distancing. So it was a really tough one to promote. It's like, we want people to come do this and we can try it out. Now I kind of want to try it again, but I'm trying to free up some time.
Draft it up again.
I'm trying to free up some time, but because I think it would be amazing to have from 6 to 10 like a Smash Brother tournament.
Yeah,
you know, you can play up to 16. You can line up 16 people on the tournament style. Bracket.
Do a whole bracket.
And then one by one they all get knocked out. And the rest can be an audience until it's their turn to play.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then obviously now they have beer and wine, maybe an adult version of
it.
Yeah,
there you go.
But yeah.
So you mentioned you have kids. You mentioned
I do. Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
2. I got a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old.
10-year-old, 8-year-old. All right. How are they in the gamerverse?
Well, they were they were actually the first people to ever play in the game. Not even me. I didn't play. I set everything up. I set everything up electronically, and they were the first to actually play.
Right.
I looked to them for advice on what games to get, like what's popular.
That's probably perfect.
I don't know.
Because
if I got the games, I would just be getting games I'm into. Hey, that's not good for an 8-year-old. Like,
that's true.
That's a good.
Or I wouldn't get any business because the parents don't want an 8-year-old playing Call of Duty.
That's a good strategy, actually. I mean, they're the ones that are going to hear in the schoolyard or whatever.
Exactly.
Just all the schoolyard banter and what's cool, what's going on right now, what's happening.
Exactly.
That's when you popped in Fortnite when you guys went to go test the game consoles at the theater out.
Oh yeah, they were.
In my head, I'm like, oh, so this is like Call of Duty, Halo, but just different
Royal
characters.
Rumble,
Had you seen it before that?
Yeah,
like a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but I've never actually like in person been around it. You know?
Fortnite got big a little bit before they were of age, and I remember thinking, this is stupid. This is cartoony. And then he started playing it, and I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. And then I started playing. I play with them all the time.
Now Call of Duty does that too now, right? Like a Royal Rumble style.
Yeah,
like
the Battle Royale.
Yeah, Battle Royale.
Yeah. So, but Call of Duty is hard. Fortnite's fun, but
Nazi Zombies was a really big hit for me.
I still play that too, the original ones.
Yeah, it's like after like 4 or 5 rounds, it starts getting really intense. You're like, oh shit! Like I don't play games as often as I used to when I was a kid. So like for me, it's like I get overwhelmed. It's like oh shit, start over or not.
Stress levels.
Yeah, but usually when there's like 4 people playing with you, it's a lot easier to get past like 10, 12 rounds, right?
Right. Someone watching your back.
Yeah, pretty much. But if you're by yourself, round 3 is just too hectic, you know. But my question is, Paso's hot. How are you handling the trailer?
I actually installed AC in the trailer.
Like a mini
so
split?
It's got it's the same as you'd find in an RV.
Okay.
It fits in the same hole. It's like the little roof vent type thing.
Yeah.
So installed the AC in there. It gets it going. It's comfortable in the summer. Even like last summer.
Yeah.
It was, I think the hottest day was like 109 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So it gets it comfortable. I mean, the number 80s doesn't seem like it would be comfortable, but
but if you step outside,
kids are a lot more versatile. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tried to adjust the airflow with the doors. I got a side door. I got the back door.
Yeah.
So the back door, the whole thing just drops down.
Do you ever think so what I would think is like you'd probably try to find somewhere where there's shade to help out. Right?
Yeah. I
you
park,
ever think about
so
like what is it called, canopy?
I don't have a canopy, but I do have it's like an RV screen.
Yeah.
So I put an RV screen on the back.
Yeah.
At least just for the sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
It it helps keep the cold in a little bit,
Yeah.
but it like sun on a TV screen, like you can't see.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's one and the same. Like I have to shut the door so they can see the screen, but at the same time it keeps cold in.
Yeah.
Or I'll open it up and have the screen on there so it blocks the sunlight but still allows airflow.
So most of these that you do are parties, right? Birthday parties.
Yeah,
and stuff like
almost all of them have been birthday parties.
So they
did a wedding once.
Oh, really?
yeah, a wedding reception.
That's awesome. So I'm assuming they have snacks on their own, but do they ever ask if you have snacks or?
No. I've never actually gotten the question, "Do you have snacks?" I played with the idea of offering snacks, packaged. I have a seller's permit.
Yeah.
So I can sell snacks. I just don't.
Right.
Plus, I don't know. It's the kid. The parents book it.
Yeah.
And they just kind of do their own thing. Like that's the joy of the thing is that all the kids are here.
Yeah.
So all the kids are here. They don't bring cash. I don't shake them down or anything. So
hey, you want to buy some candy?
Well, yeah. Now you say it. But
have a second truck pull up out of nowhere. Oh no, this is just my other business.
So I thought of having like kind of like the theater setup.
Yeah.
That's actually what it came from. Was the packaged candy. Chips, whatever, you bottled water, Gatorade, whatever. And I just never really pulled the trigger on that. I didn't get into but it doesn't like not enough people ask for it. And then I don't want to come up to a birthday party. They have cake, if it's at the time they have a meal. Yeah. And hey, buy a bag of chips for $1 or something. Like it just seems like I'm stepping on their parade type thing.
Oh yeah, no, I would say like include it with the pricing is what I was imagining. But at the same time, it's like they are going to be hyped up on cake and other foods, and
you would think,
and then also I don't know what how like sanitary wise, like if they're getting like Cheeto prints all over.
Well, so I do allow food in there if they have their own food, which a lot of people are surprised, but apparently it's a game changer. A lot of the other game trucks, they just want to burn and turn. They want to get from party to party. So I clean pretty regularly.
And I'm assuming it's a small area, so it's not that tough to clean.
No,
right?
and it's actually basically designed to be hosed down, almost literally.
Oh, okay.
So it's like garage flooring. They're pretty heavy duty seats.
Yeah, you mentioned other gaming trucks. I know in this area you're the first that I've come across.
I'm the only one in North County. Yeah. Stationed in North County. The other one. They come up here from time to time. They don't really advertise up here, but they also charge for fuel. So it's like
it's a lot of travel.
It's the South County is their
baby. Yeah. Because I know for the longest time I was trying to find some sort of gaming situation where people can bring their consoles or something, and then that's how you popped up as I was just like looking on Instagram. Surprisingly, Instagram has become really good at like a search engine for me. I'll type in a hashtag or something, like video podcasting production, stuff like that. Like I typed in just video podcast production hashtag, and there's one company that I found, and they have like the equipment and everything, and then you can rent it out, and then they'll have a tech person if you want a tech person involved and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I messaged them like, hey, I kind of want to do that here in my area. It's like, what are, any pointers? Like, and I looked at their price ranges, and it was pretty decent and fair, right? Nothing too crazy. I still haven't received the reply back, so I'm like, I'm wondering if they're even that active on Instagram.
Yeah, or maybe they are, but just maybe they flooded all the time with them.
Maybe. But yeah, I haven't come across any other even when I type in gaming truck or anything like that, they don't come up. So you're doing something right.
For sure. Yeah,
I did a little bit of marketing in the beginning just to get my name out there.
Yeah.
It was slow going, but
yeah. I mean, even now, like you posted a couple things like, there was like you listed all the games, or at least a picture of all the games you have.
Right.
And like a quarter of it, you said that's only there or something. Yeah. Like just posting stuff like that, it's like I think it'll pique their interest a little bit, because I'm assuming when you book a party, they're not like saying, "Hey, we want all these games involved." They pretty much stick to one or two games, right? The kids.
No, they actually jump around quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of run on the fact that they can try a game they've been wanting to play.
Yeah.
Or try a console they've been wanting to play or something like that. Like it's available to you. You can play it.
Yeah.
But sometimes they just play that. It'll be funny. The kids will come in and they'll like jump on Minecraft, and the parents like, dude, you have this at home. Like you have this exact game, exact console. You're playing with your character. Like, what are you doing? But I mean, whatever. You know, they play Minecraft for a little bit, and then they want to try out something else, or
especially nowadays since there's no video rental stores anymore.
No,
like, you can't rent.
Well, you can only buy it.
Yeah, you can't rent video games.
And you're still back to the GameStop for like a quarter, maybe. But
oh god, don't even sell anything back to GameStop, people.
No, I remember taking my GameCube after a while, and the what they were offering me was super outrageous. Like I was like, I'd rather just keep it than try to sell it. But I know Video Palace, when it was here, I met the owner, and he told me he was the original Video Palace over on Spring Street.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So they left, and he when I met him, he was talking to me about how he was able to stay in business because of inventory, and obviously he had a smaller inventory to work with compared to Blockbuster. But he goes, the Blockbuster was just overreaching on their inventory a lot of times.
Well, he was private.
He was private. They were very corporate. Yeah. So I'm like, I mean, that's a big difference. But he was like really proud that he figured that part out, and I was happy that he came back and stuck around for so long, and then pandemic hit and nobody was doing. He had to stop it. Yeah. But one thing he started doing, he would actually rent out a couple of the consoles, the NES, the one that has like 1,000. Yeah. Oh yeah. He would rent them out.
The classic versions.
That thing paid for itself. A couple rents out. It's insane how like you can get creative with these things. It's just obviously some things are just not enough.
Right.
But I mean. My wife and I, we went over when they first reopened by Walmart, and I just started getting flashbacks of all these like going. I would always rent Speed Racer for some reason when I was a kid. That was my go-to. Yep. And so we were walking around.
This one didn't have that curtain. They didn't have that curtain.
Oh, that curtain and that with the 3 X's on top of it. Yeah, they didn't have that area anymore. I always wonder why my dad spent so much time over there.
I thought it was some Wonderland. I mean, I guess it was
technically. And by the way, my dad didn't spend time over there. I was just joking. But I did see a lot of adult males go in that direction quite a bit, and I was like, oh, that must be fun, So my wife and I, we went to check it out. Sorry, there's like a little slope.
Getting that.
I know you'll get a leg workout trying to keep it there. I'm gonna get carpet so that way the wheels don't turn as much. Yeah. But as you can see, it's like not finished all the way. But compared to
looks good.
It's as long as the camera angles aren't including everything else in it. Yeah. But yeah, my wife and I, we picked out like 3-4 movies to rent, and I'm not a big renter because the process of renting means you have to go back and take it. I hate making trips.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason I'm not a big fan of renting. But we made a thing. We rented a couple movies and we brought it back, and they had the snacks on checkout, all that stuff.
It looked a little bit. It looked a little bit like a Blast from the Past.
Yeah, a little bit. They didn't have as much selection of a lot of things. Yeah, but for the most part, the person who was working there was very knowledgeable in their movies. Like I would tell them, like, "Hi, do you have this one with this person?" It's like, "Oh yeah, that's right over there." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like,
yeah.
Damn.
It's like back in the day.
Yeah. So like during the pandemic, I think it's like adapt or
right.
You
or
go
come
away.
with something new.
Or come up with something new. Yeah. I was really sad that he was like selling all his inventory for like like 10 cents to the dollar or something like that. It was crazy. But no, I think the gaming truck, like I said, it popped up on my feed, and I tell people about it. And I think what's your end goal? I mean, there's never really an end goal, but what would you consider like? Oh, I've made it. It's success. I would consider it a success now that you're getting bookings to begin with.
Yeah. Well, the goal is fluid.
Yeah. Right.
So when it first started, the idea was to replace my weekend jobs.
Yeah.
As far as income.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if I get a party or two a weekend, that's success to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Which that's what I've been doing since August last year. Like it's almost, I have to block off. I have to tell people no.
Yeah.
Which to me, that's a little bit of success.
Yeah.
But as far as business goes, Forerunner means precursor. It's like something before something else.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to own a pizza restaurant.
Oh, okay.
So this is
Okay, so
the Forerunner. It's named because it's the Forerunner to
So you still
another business venture.
You still have
Yeah.
ideas later.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
that's
But
pretty cool.
the name Forerunner is actually from Halo, so it's kind of it's double meaning.
So what are you guys' thoughts on sliced pizza for sale when you go to a pizza joint? Like when they have it on the
I love
warmer?
it.
Yeah. I'm surprised nobody downtown has done anything like that, like all the pizzerias and stuff like that.
They own PBK. Oh, I don't know if they do that anymore. They used to do it, but only for lunch.
Yeah,
Mars Pizza do it
Pizza
anymore?
Planet did it for a little bit. I don't know if
Yeah.
they still do over
I
by
don't
the post office.
Yeah.
Marv's Pizza is the only one like in downtown, really. That's been there for a while.
I've never
forever.
They have really thin slices, so it's kind of hard to sell them. $1. You know, but I've always been curious because there's so much foot traffic downtown that a lot of times you can't even find a place to sit and eat. So it'd be kind of cool to have like a little pizza place and be able to buy a slice of pizza, go walk to the park and do that.
I wonder how many people would be doing, because I mean, you look at what is downtown and what kind of people are being exactly what kind of people are attracted. If anything, I feel like maybe it's the workers that probably just want a slice of pizza and just
a lot of times,
or kids
that's
I do ask people who work at other restaurants, like, hey, what's the last movie you watched? It's either one of the two answers. One, it's been a while, because they're working most of the time. Or two, they go to Tascadero because they have beer and wine.
But
now we have beer and wine. So I'm going to start making some rounds downtown and be like, hey, we have beer and wine. We have beer and wine.
How's that going, by the way?
It picked up yesterday because Top Gun 2.
Friday.
Top Gun
2?
Maverick
came
out.
It's technically a sequel.
It's a sequel.
Top Gun Maverick came out, so finally. We did a soft opening the week before. Not a lot. During the week, nobody bought anything. I mean, nobody really knew about it.
Yeah.
But I think now it's starting to pick up. Next week, probably a little bit more, hopefully. There's no new movies next week, so I don't know what's going to happen. But when like movies like Thor and Love and Thunder come out,
that's when you're kind of waiting for.
I'm sure the parents are going to want a beer or wine.
Yeah.
So no, it's finally open. We have beer and wine. Hopefully, we take some of that business back from Tascadero.
I mean, it's just like the regular front. You're walking right by it to go to the theater. So
they passed a law back in before 2014 or something like that. You had to have a designated auditorium only for the beer and wine.
Oh, that's how Galaxy
that's how it
did when
started.
they first opened.
That's why you have that little cove. They call it VIP. They try to spin it. They try to spin it. It's like it's a VIP, but technically by law they were only able to do it there.
So you could feel cool.
And then the law passed where you can have it in the auditorium. So now they actually sell at the concession counter too.
Okay.
So it's very interesting to like how much alcohol impacts businesses. Period. Like before beer and wine was allowed at the movie theaters, like nobody thought about, let's have a beer and wine bar. I mean, I'm sure they did, but nobody was like taking the chances yet.
Yeah.
Then they finally probably passed a law, and they're like, oh shit, they started making way more money that way.
Yep.
Let's open it up to every single screen. You know, you go to the fair. I mean, you pass by every fifth person has a beer in their hand. You know? It's insane. Beer is a crazy marketing tool for getting people in. It's insane.
And it's not limited to a demographic age.
Yeah.
But it's not limited to a demographic. Like everybody, mostly everybody drinks, but
especially in this area.
This area is built on drinking.
Beer
and wine.
Yeah, when I moved away, beer is definitely making a huge impact now. The last
wine's
like 4 years.
Thing.
Yeah. And I remember when I moved to Lemoore back in 2012, they promoted me to run a theater over there, and then there was like 98 wineries. And I moved back in 2016. There was 248 or something like that. I was like, sweet Jesus. I got the pamphlet out and counted them all. I'm like, oh my God.
There's so many, they're starting to have to divide up the AVA into smaller sections.
That's crazy.
So they just divided them up again.
And you know the funny thing is, it's only going to keep growing because the plans for Paso Robles in general are insane. I mean, housing.
Oh yeah.
Over by the airport, there's this space program that's going to start developing over there in the next 5 years or so. Which if you're thinking about having like a business like brick and mortar on that side, try to find out how you can get over there kind of thing, because I mean that's going to be a big thing. I have a buddy who right across the street from the airport, he has a little Airbnb / a tasting room.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna tell him like, dude, you better get that tasting room finished because that's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
People, obviously they're not flying and then go, they're not drinking and then go flying. It's like after they land in Paso, which is gonna be another big destination, they're gonna start looking for places to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, he's gonna make bank if he still has that piece going. But I'm just like, it's insane. Paso's just growing, and that's why I want to do more.
While you can
talking to people, and
Yeah.
I have Tommy Booth, who was here last. He does a private labeling for wines and stuff like that, and I was like,
I have to jump on that.
I'll do one with you. Yeah, and I'm like, I got to,
Yeah.
I mean, it may be a little bit of FOMO, if you're missing out. But
exactly.
At the same time,
get in on the ground floor.
Yeah. At the same time, I know it can happen here for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What's the furthest you've gone for the gamer truck? Right.
I don't know by mileage. Either the lake, Nacimiento, or San Luis.
What's
San
the
Luis
farthest?
City.
What's the furthest you would go?
Probably about those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to keep it down because I don't. I mean, I don't want to charge for fuel. Everybody else charges for fuel.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Everything's. I mean, it's funny because I actually came from. If I came from pizza delivery, you pay the same amount no matter how far away you live.
Yeah.
Like it's all a wash. So if you live really far away, you're doing great because you're paying $2 for pizza.
Yeah.
If you live across the street, you're paying $2 for pizza.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to charge extra for people that live at the lake.
Yeah.
Versus people like it's harder for me, but I don't want people at the lake to have to pay more than people in town.
Yeah.
Or San Luis is a little bit different because of the grade, and that's outside my market. I market as North County.
Yeah.
So.
Got it.
But there's time involved in it too. So.
I mean, I guess that's the way to keep yourself in competition.
Yeah.
Like, what I mean, you'll compete against anybody else. Even though I know right now you're the only one in North County, but if it.
Yeah, he's the only one in North County. So make sure you book him Forerunner. Look him up.
At what point do you think it'd be time to get your pizza shop, like you said, and do that?
I don't have.
You don't have.
It's not an exact time.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. When I first started this, as I said, it's fluid. Like when I first started it, the only goal was to match the income.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to work for myself.
That's right.
Maybe the goal at this point is to get big enough to hire an employee so I don't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
I don't think the market supports it to be big enough that will be my day job.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a fun hobby. Like
that's right.
It's a business, but it's a hobby. So I think
at least you got that going though.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a hobby and you get something out of it too.
Right. I once heard that anybody that goes into business should be always prepared to sell. So, I don't know. Maybe down the line, if I want to get out and
some guys like
put some cash into a pizza restaurant, then
that's true.
If you would put a number on the how much is worth now, what would you estimate it at?
Oh, I can't even tell you. I can tell you I have 40 G's in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if somebody were to buy it, I mean, luckily I don't have as much debt anymore. But
exactly.
If I were, I'm not going on record on this one, but if I were to sell today, $40K.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm attached to it, but I'm not that attached.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. No,
they probably have to offer you a little more in order for you to be like, all right, I'm okay with
right. And I mean, there's so much thing.
Yeah,
that's my
no problem.
My social media alarm. Imagine that.
Somebody's trying to book something.
Better look at
it. So, if so much more goes into selling a business than just what I put into it.
Mm-hmm.
What I put into it, dollar amount, 40.
Yeah.
What I put into it, sweat equity, 80.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I built the thing myself. I built an $80,000 trailer.
Yeah.
So, and the annual income of it. So, I mean, it's a delicate number.
Yeah. I know. Especially being, not. Have you ever come across anybody who has wanted to sell their gaming truck?
I have.
Oh, okay.
And I am not going to advertise for them.
Smart.
I have.
That's smart.
I had a guy actually from Orange County.
Uh-huh.
I actually called him to ask him industry questions.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm getting in this game. I think it was last year sometime. I'd been in it a little bit, but I'm like, hey, how you doing with COVID type thing? And he actually had a trailer for sale.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, I don't have the business to expand right now.
Yeah.
But, I'll keep your number, I guess.
Just
I mean,
yes.
yeah.
Because I know a lot of the. I came across this video a while ago, and it stuck with me for some reason because there are a lot of small business out there that are willing to sell. So if you want to start, sometimes it's easy just to buy out another business and then
flip it,
transform that into what you want it to be. Right. Sometimes it's that's how easy it is, Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I can't think of anybody right now, but I'm pretty sure I know somebody who's done that, and they bought a business and then just made it into something else, kind of thing. And that's an easier route. I mean, if you have the capital for it, and you have the time, and the sweat equity is a big thing that people don't understand.
Yes.
People are working 9-to-5 jobs, but don't realize they have so much they can invest on their off hours.
Right.
An hour or two a day. I don't have time. Oh, did you end up watching the new season of Stranger Things? Yeah. You have time.
All of it.
You have time. It's
it's
just perspective and how you're going to look at it. And a lot of people decide Netflix is probably easier for me today than to put in an hour or two. There's times where I'm awake until 2:00 in the morning putting some clips together or whatever because I just can't. One, I can't sleep, but at the same time, it's
while you're at it,
while I'm at it, just keep going. What's me losing 2 hours of sleep?
Yeah.
I wake up just the same.
Yeah. The Rock said if he was talking about doing stuff for yourself, small business, maybe not small business, but doing things you love or whatever.
Yeah.
He said if you get home from work and you don't want to do something, you're not tired, you're uninspired.
Yeah.
But I'm learning about investing, learning about finance, learning about starting a small business, doing the small business.
Yeah.
It's exponential. It grows.
Everything you can get out of this is basically experience, if anything.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything else, you can get the experience.
But it just makes you want more.
Yeah. No, if I stop for some reason doing this whole podcast thing, I'm like the knowledge I have now of mics and mixers and the cameras and what I need to do everything. I'm like, I can probably pick it up again in the future, whatever, But
and that's worth a few semesters of college.
Yeah, it's insane.
You learn more doing it than you will sitting behind a desk.
Yeah, I think YouTube should start a college. YouTube should start their own virtual college. That's how much I've learned on YouTube.
I'm surprised I haven't yet.
I know, right? And
patent it and sell it.
I know Google has their specialty classes or schools or certifications. You can become a Google Analytics, Google Business. You can actually get certified, and then you become your own business and go do those things. Yeah, and which is really interesting that they're allowing people to literally for themselves work under Google, but at the same time not have to pay Google that they're showing these businesses. Because I go around downtown and if there's a new business, I'll take a look at their Google business account and see if they're present or on there and stuff like that. Because being a tourist town, people are Googling you.
Oh yeah. Well, they're gonna find out about you before they come here.
Yeah. If you don't
or not.
If you don't have a presence, right? It would make more sense for you to just not really have post pictures and that's it, right? Because people are gonna.
I'm very localized.
Very local.
Yeah,
but there's people businesses that don't even have their hours on there yet. It's
I've
or a small description or even link up their phone number.
Yeah,
everything is Google automatically made it for that business because they know there's an entity here, but nobody's claimed it yet.
Right. Exactly.
And I'm that's a business right there. If we can go and talk to people.
And if you don't have a website, people don't. Even if somebody could know about you, but they don't know.
Yeah.
Anything about you.
Yeah. Like I said, Instagram is a really good search engine for me, and that's where I find a lot of people.
Yep.
Bob's Burgers movie came out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And Park Cinemas has a decent following for a small community, and I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna put 5 burger joints on my story for Park Cinemas because I handle the social media, and I'm gonna put 5 burger joints. I'm like, just in case Bob's Burger make you hungry. Just go to these places.
That's funny.
And there was literally 2 or 3 places, burger joints in town I couldn't find on Instagram. so they just missed out.
Oh yeah.
They just missed out on me trying to promote them. Yeah, it's.
Did you see?
They're happy
that
with
seems like
the business
first
they
thing
have.
you need to do.
Yeah.
Is, I mean,
I feel like they're happy that they're still getting customers because, like I said, it's a small community, so people just go automatically.
Right, returning customers.
But if you want to like eventually expand or something, you should
to keep yourself like a leg up against anybody else. In case
because
in
case In-N-Out opens up by Lowe's and nobody's going to Bronco Burger anymore.
That's a good point. No, that's a good point.
I mean, I'd go to both. But.
Yeah, I'd still go to both too. Lunch, dinner.
But because you're local though. Anybody,
that's correct.
Anybody outside would be like,
In-N-Out. Only go to In-N-Out.
I'm there.
Right. They'll never find you.
They will never. Exactly.
Yeah.
Bronco Burgers by such a like the foot traffic there. It's like people who live here will know
people
where it's
traveling to and from work.
Exactly. So did you see how some movie theaters were like doing burgers for Bob's Burger?
I thought about that. We don't have the kitchen.
I know you guys don't have the kitchen, but yeah, did you? Yeah,
I thought about that.
You have the patio though, right out front.
Yeah. So. Mutiny Burger luckily has an Instagram account, so I use them as well. Hopefully they took advantage and got some business or something.
Took it and ran.
Yeah. There's not really a lot of burger joints like right downtown. I mean, you go to Pat McGregor's, they have like those the goat cheese burger or whatever. They have some interesting pub burgers.
But burger joints,
not straight up burger old joint? Classic. Especially after Good Times left.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no really like a true like just burger joint. Just meat and cheese and lettuce and tomato.
Well, when you like the In-N-Out, but smaller, like the private type.
Yeah. There was a time where when
like
Good Times
Sylvester's Burgers here.
Yeah. When Good Times
is that still around?
Yeah.
They're doing great. It's still in Tuscadero.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I think they have another one. I can't remember, but I know
Tuscadero for sure. Los Osos.
They have other businesses on top of just Sylvester's.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bunch of other. My niece actually, she does the books for them.
Yeah.
So, we might have to have those Sylvester's people here.
That'd be dope. Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. I want to have everybody here.
I'm promoting this area.
I want everybody to have a podcast to begin with. Because I think about podcasts as a social media. Is like everybody's going to have some sort of a platform at some point. Like they're going to be involved one way or another. Either the listening or the creating or both.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's funny because like we've had people tell us like, I want to be on the show, or either I've had people tell me like, oh, I wish I can start a podcast. I just don't know where to start. And I'm like, your phone. You can record on your phone. Audio. Yeah. Go from there. I just got picky and started. I wanted better audio.
I've said it many times on this, but he's how I got into it.
I had him on my podcast.
Yeah, I had it because he just opened it up to anybody. He said, "You want to be, on a podcast?" And I was like, "That sounds kind of cool to try. And let me see if I like it. If not," and I did one. I got hooked. I didn't want to impose, but I couldn't wait to be.
He was like. So
I want to be on everyone. You're like, so you want to host, right?
He goes, yeah. He goes, I want to start a podcast, like a dad podcast or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah. No, he was like, I was like, I don't know though, because I was even like, I was
being a little bit.
I know, even on Miguel's Moments, like I was on there 3 times, I think, in total. And
that's where that name came from.
Miguel's Moments.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was before the dad pod.
It's a separate one, but that one's more like that one is more like you're a fly in the wall in a conversation. You're just conversation
moving
the whole
along.
time. Moving along. Hey, this is cool about that one. And I was like, I'm not trying to pose, but I was like, I'll be on your shows and maybe just give me a segment, like a dad.
He wanted like. To me, that's a lot more work, to be honest, because you have to like clip it out and stuff like that. Yeah. But I was like, no, let's just start one. Why not?
Yeah, that's because I didn't know he'd wanted. He's like, I'll just do it. I was like, oh, okay. And then here we are. Here we are, almost a year into it.
Here we are. Yeah, I'm hoping we get more people. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get more people, but like just the brand awareness would start growing a little bit more.
Well, at this point, it's when we kind of started breaking away from like we're just doing parenting. We're now like trying to promote business our talent.
As well.
Right. Because you could still talk about parenting. Even that's why I asked you that question about your kids. Like
exactly.
like we can defer it or we cannot. Yeah. But like we're still.
Bert Chrysler and Tom Segura have a podcast called Two Bears in a Cave, and I don't know what the hell that's about.
Like, there you go.
Just the other one is what? Mom's Attic.
Mom's Attic with his wife.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. And like at this point, I kind of took it with what Adri said on our podcast, and shout out to Adri for this one. But she said her biggest thing was promoting positivity.
Right.
And ever since she said that, that's kind of stuck in my head. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should be.
Yeah.
We should be phoning in on a bunch of people who have their own businesses and just promote the hell out of them. Because why not? We've lived in this town forever. Why not just show the world or show anybody who wants to listen to it?
Especially when you two met today. It's a small town. You guys recognize each other.
Yeah. We used to work at Target.
Yeah. There's people that I know that I remember them starting at like the bottom level, entry level job at this business, and then like meet them later. They're like the GM.
Exactly.
It's just. It's just it makes sense to be able to promote each other that way because we just all grew up together. And I think Paso's still left to grow and watch.
It's still growing.
Our kids are going to be doing stuff later on too.
Well, and we're kind of in control of how it grows too.
Right.
Yeah.
So
right now,
if we're
in the thick of it.
If we're doing the small business around here, like it's not the rich people coming in and opening up a tasting room.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to keep the community
we're
together.
the ones doing that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as a kid, I don't know the definition of a small town, but it felt like a small town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
it was.
my mom knew everybody. Now it's crazy. Like there's so many people coming and going. And
when my wife and I got together, she's like, Miguel, you know, everybody knows you in this town. Like everywhere we go, so like, hey Miguel, hey Miguel, hey Miguel. And when I work at the movie theater, so that probably helps a little bit when you see people. We were in the middle of talking about it, and then we ordered pizza at Domino's, and then
sure enough,
oh hey Fernando, seriously, man, the pizza guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just I try to make connections.
You've been here for this long, and a lot of people know about you. That's the same thing. My wife has done that to me too. She's like, you know everybody here. I'm like, well, I've been here.
Take me to LA. I won't know anybody. How about that?
No. Yeah, exactly.
And you don't care.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's always cool where I just know somebody where I can just defer them to them.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, I know somebody who does hair. I know somebody who does nails.
I
know somebody who
it
does gaming truck.
The networking is exponential.
Exactly. You get a lot more out of that.
Anything you want to mention that we might have not brought up?
Shout outs. I mean, anything you want to.
Well, I will shout out. Thank you. I will shout out my fiance.
Okay.
Because as my girlfriend, it must have been like 2 weeks after our first date. She started helping me build the game truck.
Oh wow!
Awesome.
We met because she moved here because of the pandemic, and now we're getting married next week.
Oh, congratulations! Awesome.
Dang. So, no, 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks? So like on Father's Day?
2 weeks.
Soon.
Like Father's Day weekend kind of thing?
I think it actually is. I don't know. June 11th.
June 11th.
Okay. I don't know. Father's Day, I think is
week before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, as my girlfriend, she helped me before I had AC in the trailer in San Miguel. It was like 100. I took a picture of the thermometer, 113 degrees inside the trailer.
That's insane.
Before, I think it was actually after insulation, but before AC in the middle of the summer. So she helped me out. My brother, he helps me out with video games too. So video games, the video game truck, is at the time fiance. My kids.
Yeah.
So they are the kind of a driving force behind it.
Yeah.
They help me out with the video game selection, and they help me out by telling all their friends at school.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
That's all you need.
Do they wear gaming?
They don't. No, I haven't gotten a shirt for that.
Okay. Or like a hat or something. Yeah.
Actually, this shirt, all the Forerunner Gaming shirts I have were made by my sister-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah. And one was made by my
Does she have a
cricket?
Yeah.
We were talking about this. Yeah. Our wives have crickets.
And then my...
This is not sponsored by Cricket.
Right.
But we would like one.
But it is very useful. Yeah. So they actually, they collectively they did a lot for me.
Right.
So
okay.
I spawned the idea, and they're like, hey, if you thought of this, I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
So she made signs for me. She does a lot of the graphics work, graphics design, like the more intricate social media.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't want to put her name on all of it because some of it is mine and it's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But
she's like,
I use an app to put pictures together. That's all I do.
Yeah. Oh.
But so she does a lot more of the creativity.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not creative. So
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we pretty much talked about everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you haven't already, start following Forerunner Gaming.
We're going to put your handle in our YouTube too.
I think it's at Forerunner.gaming.
Or Forerunner.gaming.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
I have to look at it. It's on my website.
Hey, we can
Forerunner Gaming
Yeah.
LLC.com.
We'll find it. We'll copy it. We just, but anybody in town, check them out.
In town or traveling
whenever you come here, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're small anyway, so hey.
I actually do have Instagram, so you can find me on
there. Yeah. Can people book on Instagram, or they have to call you?
They don't. No, I had booking on the website for a little while, but I don't want to make people pay up front.
Okay.
So
just in case
it's a convenience thing.
All right.
Cool. So yeah, website, email, text, call, Instagram, Facebook.
Cool.
I do all that.
Check them out, guys.
Checking them out.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Take us out, Miguel. We stuck with that one and never let go. So.
Yeah.